To what extent have the initiatives that I referred to by the Trump administration really curtailed your activity, your business? Has it hurt your business so far?
Look, if you look at the financial performance, we've grown by about 24% year on year, looking at the third quarter results, and profits up by about 8.5 to 8.7%. Smartphone shipments is doing third quarter around 185 million. Those sorts of things, are good indicators that we're heading in the right direction. But, has this administration hurt the company? It's done a number of different things. I mean, it's improved our brand awareness, quite frankly, globally. So thank you very much for that. We've moved from about 88%, I guess, to 100. But what it's really done is it's helped Huawei to focus, I guess, to start thinking about things more seriously and perhaps in a different way. For example, last year we made $105 billion. We didn't really understand marketing, if I can say that. We know how to talk to the technical people in a telecom company. That's what we did very well for 20 years. But now we're required to sort of talk about how we do things differently, about software, about vulnerability, about security, about those sorts of things, to come on, to television, media, to talk to different governments about different types of things. We're a technology company, an R&D company. We spend $15, $16, $17 billion on R&D, and we're a good sales company. So really what we're having to do now is to sort of change and explain to people about this company that you all think is mysterious. But from my perspective, I think it's one of the greatest companies I've ever worked for.
So President Trump has made it a priority to make sure that not only in the United States, but also in Europe and other allies, they do not purchase 5G equipment, as I understand it, from Huawei. He even referred to it obliquely yesterday in his meeting with President Mattarella of Italy. Is he having an effect there? Are you being shut out of markets as a result of that?
Look, some administrations are, I'll say, making some rules that say X amount of market share, perhaps, or perhaps suggesting that we should, not play in the core network and play in the radio access network. So there's some ways that you can, I guess, balance market share is probably the best way, rather than completely deny and say, without Huawei, or you shouldn't do with Huawei. Let me give you examples of why 5G is so terribly important. And perhaps, Huawei, we spend so much money on R&D. Even if we weren't good at it, we've 88,000 patents, David, right? Almost 30% of all core intrinsic IP in 5G. We're not trying to dominate the market. What we're trying to do is we're trying to deploy 4 and 5G technologies to make a difference, all right? And what does 5G do? 5G is inherently more secure than 4G. So to put in 5G networks globally is a good idea, especially when you start moving towards industry areas and this thing called Internet of Things and IoT. So if we move down the track of deploying more 5G, the world actually becomes more secure. It means there are different rules that need to be played by between different administrations. And yes, okay, Huawei, you don't know Huawei, maybe you fear Huawei, maybe you're saying, we think there's a security issue. We've had for 10 years experience with both the, the British government and other governments around the world where our software has been exposed, where it's been analysed. There's no back doors. All right? Huawei's a commercial company, David. Can you imagine what would happen if Huawei were to put a back door in there or comply with some directive from somebody else? The company would be dead tomorrow.